What's up, everybody? Happy pre-Thanksgiving Friday. My turkey neck is ready to go. If you can see, I'm ready to rock. I like to think that this is the holiday that I prep for all year because to me, it is 100% eating. They should just rename it to the eating holiday. I think the turkey is just literally the American icon of get fat, get happy, get lazy, and drink your face off. But I didn't say that. So everyone that says they're going to go on a diet and haven't done it already, stop fooling yourself. Thanksgiving is here. I'm super excited. Honestly, it totally changes mentally for me once this time of year comes into play, despite our 65-degree day yesterday. So I'm excited to have this guy on. We have some mutual friends. I feel like we would bro it out had we known each other prior to the show. Really interested to hear everything he's done in the business and why he's been so successful. But I'll tell you one thing wholeheartedly, without a doubt, I don't have to know much about him, but again, we're always looking for the superstar quality in the individual. And this guy has that likability, that personality, that ability to be authentic and relate to what you're doing. So I'm going to bring him on. I'm going to stop rambling. Mr. Matt Donnelly, home experts for you out of KW Mainline. What's going on, Matt? How are you, buddy?
Woo woo! What's up,
Welcome
buddy?
to the show, man. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
And I'm sure you appreciated that intro because honestly, man, like to me, it's just all about the eating. I don't know about you.
Oh, yeah. I already had 2 Thanksgiving meals this week in preparation for next week.
Was one of them the gobbler? Is the gobbler out yet, by the way? Did Wawa bring that out yet?
I'm sure that they have. I don't know if they ever take it off their menu, but I like
That's
to
true.
make my own gobbler. My mom had a Thanksgiving meal with her friends, so I got the leftovers from that. So I made myself a gobbler the other day.
It's always good to be near mom, isn't it?
Yes.
So, Matt, we're going to get down. We're going to get deep. We're going to get dirty. But let's start from the beginning. Tell us where you guys work out of, what area you focus on. Give us some knowledge of the team.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm a co-owner of the Home Experts for You team with Keller Williams Mainline. My business partner is Mike Soroka. We operate a team. We have our own office space known as a mega agent office that we operate our team out of right in beautiful Conshohocken. And we also have a property management company called M Property Services that's in Conshohocken as well. So me and Mike joined forces in 2014.
Okay.
We moved over from Coldwell Banker Preferred to Keller Williams. And then we really kind of took our team and our business and our entrepreneurship to the next level when we done so. So last year we sold over 200 houses. We'll do. Yep. So still not.
How big's your squad? How big's your squad?
So between our back office and agents on the team, we're probably around 12. I think 12 total.
Nice, strong, man. 200 homes. That's solid.
Yeah,
solid number. Are you guys right on Fayette? Is that where you are?
Yeah, we're right on Fayette. So our real estate sales team is on the corner of 9th and Fayette Street. And nice. our property management is right at 6th and Fayette Street.
Now, was that property management the one that Ian Walsh owned?
No. Gary DeMedio, rest in peace, owned it. He was a very good, he was actually Mike's mentor. Mike started working for him. He used to have an ERA Platinum, and Mike started working for him then. And we did a lot of, he did mainly commercial, and he had his property management company. So we did a lot of teaming up with him, helping him kind of market his stuff. And when he passed away, we purchased it from his estate.
Oh, very cool. Okay, nice. All right. So let's go back, man. Where do you hail from? Give us the family dynamic. Where'd you grow up? Where'd you go to high school? Give us that whole thing.
All right. So I come from a big old Irish Catholic family.
I never would have guessed.
Yeah, I'm one of 5. I got 3 sisters and a brother. I'm number 4 in line.
Nice.
First 6 years of my life, I grew up in Frankfurt, and then we moved to Longcrest, Northeast Philly.
You have any tattoos that you want to show or not?
This one here.
That's funny.
So grew up in Longcrest was a great neighborhood community to grow up in at that point in time. It was just kids were everywhere, sports, dads coaching sports, everything that
That's
you
awesome.
Yeah, essentially what Conshohocken is now reminds me a lot of it. Just a lot of people.
So were you guys like quintessential, like everything you can think of Irish Catholic, Northeast Philly? Were you guys iconic in that sense?
We were very much so iconic in that sense.
How big is your family now? Like, you guys have like a Christmas of like 250? Like, how big are you guys?
No, I mean, pretty much all my three sisters each have 2 kids. I have 2 kids. And my brother is still single and ready to mingle. All the ladies out there.
Where's your brother? Is he near you guys?
He's in Conshohocken. Yeah, he's in Conshohocken.
All right.
Too. Yeah.
Would we find him at the Great American Pub every once in a blue?
Well, you certainly could. Maybe at the Conshohocken Bocce Club.
Yeah, well, there you go. All right. I didn't even know you guys had one of those.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. $1 drinks.
So Lawncrest, and then where'd you go to high school?
Went to Cardinal Doherty.
Oh, all right, nice. Yeah, okay. So when you go, let's set the tone for everybody, right? Because people hear these things. So that would be a Philadelphia Catholic school, for lack of a better term, right?
Yep.
So set the tone for us. What was it like? Were you guys unisex? I don't even remember. Were you unisex?
Yeah. So Cardinal Doherty was in the Northern Division. At one point in time, it was the biggest high school in the whole entire country.
Really?
Back in the 60s.
Wow.
Yeah, it's co-ed. I think it was the first school to go co-ed. Something like that. Whatever.
Okay.
Probably totally butchering what actually is But yes, there were girls, there were guys. It was, it was a good mix between different races and everything. It was a great experience to be able to go to Cardinal Doherty, forged a lot of, great relationships, people that you consider family. You play sports and it was an awesome experience. Wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. And if I go back to high school today, I'd get in that freaking time machine and do it all over again because it was that much fun. Yeah.
So tell us about Matt in high school. I want to know. Yeah. Like, were you a stud? Were you the prom king?
Nah.
Were you a bookworm?
I wouldn't go class clown. Class clown. Okay. In the yearbook, I officially won the title of class clown.
Did you?
I did.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Had like 3 jobs.
Okay.
What were they?
What'd you do?
I was mainly the main job first. I started in 8th grade, worked for Fresco Steaks.
Oh yeah. I
dressed as Gumby, and I'd walk up and down Rising Sun Avenue in a Gumby costume with the Fresco cheesesteak sign. People would be honking their horn saying, "Fuck you!" You know what I did to Pokey the other day?
I'm sorry. That's the funniest shit I've heard in a while.
So I came in as Gumby, and then I worked my way up the ranks, first by setting a new record for cutting onions in the shortest amount of time without chopping off any fingers. At that point in time, you really get paid money. You got a free cheesesteak, soda, and french fries at lunchtime.
Oh, my God.
So I ended up working at Fresco's for like 8 years, which was awesome. I also was landscaping. So
you're fully vested at Fresco's then?
Fully invested. It's no longer there. Another one.
So you did landscaping, okay?
Landscaping, worked for Summer's Best Landscaping, which was
Were you a weed picker, or weed whacker?
I weed whacked. You have to work your way up to weed whacking. First, you have to make sure you can push a mower in straight lines.
Did you ever weed whack in the Gumby outfit?
I never weed whack in the Gumby outfit, but I did mess up some cars on some early morning, early Saturday mornings trying to weed whack when I may have stayed up too late from a party back on the railroad track.
Oh man. So high school, give us an idea. How many people do you graduate with? Like, what's the size of the class?
I want to say 300.
Yeah, okay. That's not terrible. I thought it was like ridiculous.
It used to be ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I could totally be butchering that as well, but I think it was around 300.
So everything you say is completely bullshit, and we'll believe half of it.
I'm not going to guarantee you it's accurate, but I'm going to give you what my true opinion is.
So I guess to sum it up, because I've never been through high school this quickly. I usually have like funny stories, but like I can tell with you, we could probably talk about high school for the whole hour. So
we could.
Is there anything out of high school? Did you meet your first love? Is there anything you can remember aside from obviously having a massive network of people that I would imagine played a large role now, right? Because being so when people talk about their spheres, you have the Irish Catholic sphere, you have the Northeast Philly sphere, you have the Cardinal Doherty sphere. You have all these places you're going to be picking business from as you progress, right, in real estate. And I guess for me, I know that I grew up in Huntington Valley. We were right near the Northeast Philly stuff. I grew up I was born in Jeans Hospital, blah, blah, blah. So I know what my brother.
You were on the rich side, all right, buddy?
No, yeah, the rich side. My brother-in-law went to Ryan.
Ryan was a rich school, all right?
Was Ryan a rich school?
Compared to Doherty, it was.
Was it? I don't know. Okay. But for me, it's a dynamic. So like everyone has like a subculture that they grow up in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like I think like I wanted for all intents and purposes you to paint that picture for us, but thinking about you as Gumby has totally right.
Well, yeah. So what I would say is that during those high school years is obviously very impressionable, and that's when you really start kind of molding yourself and coming into your own. So obviously the fact that I worked multiple jobs, I was fortunate enough to be able to play on some sports teams in high school. So I was always doing something and working.
What was your sport?
Basketball. I played all 4 years.
Okay.
Completely suck at basketball. I was the hustler. I was the hustler on the team. So I was a very good
you were the eighth man.
Yeah. My elbows were bleeding every day, just like diving for loose balls.
That's funny. But yeah, so you did the sports, you had the great family background, the strong Irish Catholic family. And I know what that means. That to me, that there's no better root building and family dynamic than that. Just because it's at the core out of all the cultures you can see, at the core of an Irish Catholic family is the sense of just hanging out, drinking, eating, telling stories, like all that stuff. And you had all that. That's awesome.
I really did. Yeah.
And does that transcend it into your current day? Do you guys do that with your family and you're big into that stuff?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I specifically remember multiple points in time growing up where my dad would always say, family is the most important thing.
Yeah.
And so I think, because we were able to grow up with a mom and dad that cared so much about that family dynamic, me, my sisters, my brother, we all have it now.
Yeah. And would you consider yourself competitive? Are you a competitive person?
Yeah, I would say I'm a competitive person. I would say quietly competitive, more so. Yeah. Actually, I could be loud and boastful as well. It just depends on the situation.
All right. So to sum it up, this part of your life, and this is my favorite thing to do as I go through the phases of life. What if you were to rewrite that little caption under your yearbook, couple sentences? Go ahead, tell us what it would be.
What, like summarizing high school?
Your whole life in high school. Matt should be remembered by X.
Matt should be remembered by bringing joy and laughter into everyone's life that he came in contact with while working extremely hard and building memories that he can hopefully always look back on with a smile.
Dude, that's solid. That's good. That's actually excellent. That's really good. That's really good. All right. So let's get to college. Where did college take you?
Well, college was college took me to the Huddle, located at 6 and Roslyn in Ireland. I went to LaSalle University.
Nice.
At this point in time, I started my own landscaping business freshman year of college.
Okay.
So, just took out a loan, bought some lawn equipment, and started building up a client base of.
You went balls to the wall. You took out a loan and did all that. Okay.
Yeah, it was a big loan. I mean, it was a very big loan at the time in my mind. Obviously.
It's all relative, right?
It's all relative. Yeah.
Yeah.
So started my own business freshman year of college, which was very glad that I did that. I graduated college in 4 years with a degree in information technology. Okay. I don't know shit about computers. Therefore, it took me a while to log on here and figure out how to hook up this damn microphone. So I went ahead and I never used that college degree. After 4 years, I had 300 landscaping clients.
Well, let's be totally honest, Matt. How many of us in real estate or in the peripheral industries really use the degree we got? I mean,
exactly. Yeah. And I realized that. And at that point in time, I was like, I'm not going to change my degree because I don't want to go to school for like another year or two for changing degrees.
So hold on. You just said something interesting. 300 landscaping clients.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's impressive.
It's okay. I mean, you got to remember, some of these blocks are in Northeast Philly, and I own a ton of them, and like little row homes. And then
Right.
some were big ones, apartment buildings. But yeah, it was good enough to decide to keep on doing it.
And how big did you get the business?
It was right around there. Yeah. So
No, like sorry, employee wise, did you have to have a lot of
So the one day, which was like the big day, I'll cut lawns, there'd be 5 of us.
Okay.
Most days it'd be me and one other person, maybe me and 2 other people.
Okay.
And then
So
there was a
what
lot of
did
days
you
where I
learn?
was off.
What'd you take from that? Where'd you get that entrepreneurial bug? What in your mind pivoted?
I think I just kind of always had the more so the confidence that I could do it. Obviously it was a tough decision that I made when I was leaving the people that I was working for at that point in time, because I cared about them, and I know I meant a lot to their company, and I just looked at it strictly from, I know that I can do this on my own. So it's, obviously it's nothing against you guys. It's just something I know I can do on my own. So I want to go ahead and do it. So I guess it's just maybe something that was a little bit more from a place of confidence in myself.
Yeah, but I mean, at a fairly young age, that's a pretty important decision to make. It really.
When I look back on it now, I'm like, wow, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
At the time, I didn't think it was that big of a deal at all.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's funny you don't, but and let's be totally honest. At that point in your life, and I look back at my 20-something self and say, shit, man, you should have thrown it on the line. You could have lost it all, and it would have made a difference.
Exactly.
But now it's different. Now it's totally different. But okay, so the landscaping business, that became your full-time gig out of college. You ran that for a while.
So, I mean, with the landscaping gig, I didn't have to work every day. I had it spread out where I could get everything done a couple of days every other week. So I did get a job right afterwards working for Lanier, selling copiers. They were like a subset of Rico. At Lanier, they specialized in products and services that help customers improve productivity and reduce the cost of document creation, distribution, replication, and retention.
Wow. How long?
He still remembers that. That was their pitch in the morning.
There was 3 pages. It was called a value add statement, and you had to memorize 3 pages. They flew you out to Atlanta. If you didn't know it, they sent you back home. So it's like it's still in there.
I'm very aware that as soon as he said that, I was like, yo, I remember that I was in that era when we, when you do sales, they had this pitch. Did you ever hear like you remember that time, that era where they had like this, everything was sales in the 90s. Everything was sales for us. So I got flown out just the same to do the copier thing, but it was not for Lanier. It was for Xerox.
Xerox, yep.
And it was the same pitch. It was the same pitch.
Same thing, right? Yeah. It was the worst job ever. It sucked. You had to go 25 businesses a day, walk in and try to sell them a copier. So
yeah. Meanwhile, he just chickened off the screen. But I wanted to really see how his career in sales did. Because the one thing I know about this guy is if he ain't in it, he ain't in it. He ain't gonna sell it. No friggin' way.
No, listen. I'm a New Yorker, so in New York it's different. We had to hustle every day. So I was in the streets doing whatever you gave me to sell.
So you're telling me the guy that I know now,
I was a top salesman in New York.
You were pushing copiers, bro.
I was pushing whatever you gave me to sell in New York. I worked for like at least 3 companies that had products, and we would go out every day.
Yeah, but I can't see you getting into that. I know you.
I did. I did it for. I made a lot of money.
No, I'm not saying you. I'm just saying, like right now, I ask you to do something simple, and if you don't like doing it, you don't do it.
This is true. those days taught me.
All right, get off the screen. All right. Let me keep going. All right. So, tell me about your career in that business. I will look, Matt. What's that? 6 months?
6 months, yeah.
6 months. How'd you do? Did you any success?
No, so it was really fun. So everyone was outside of college, right? It's like they hire anyone right out of college. It was a fun group of dudes. It was like going to a frat house every day.
Yeah.
Like someone would come in late and we duct tape their phone. Or you'd be on a phone call, you get hit with a tennis ball. So during the morning, you make cold calls, and you have to go out in the field, and then you're supposed to like go to like 25 places a day to go. And I did it, and then I was like, this kind of sucks, and then I just dove back into the landscaping at that point in time.
You like, hey, the grass ain't greener.
Right. The grass was not greener.
And where were you living? Were you living at home? Were you living with buddies? Where were you at in life?
So right after college, I moved into East Falls.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was it like then?
Living in East Falls? It was awesome. Yeah. So
I became more familiar with it as Midvale had more restaurants and became but I don't know East Falls back in the day. Has it always been vibrant? I didn't know it that well.
I wouldn't necessarily say vibrant, but like a good old school neighborhood.
Okay.
It was close to Philly U. So you get Philly U, people to come in. There used to be a hospital right there, so you get the hospital. So then I started bartending at Billy Murphy's Irish Saloonary, which is at the corner of Indian Queen and Conrad Street, 3333 Conrad Street. It is, to this day, the best corner Irish bar in all of the land.
So let's talk about this, because this to me is going to be, believe it or not, this is more interesting than real estate to me. And I'm going to tell you why. Because being a bartender, okay, it means a lot. Okay, believe it or not, it does. It's that social cornerstone to so much, right? And the amount of people that walk through the door, the things you talk about, the roles you play. I mean, from therapist to wingman to God knows what, daddy and mommy. I mean, it just ranges in so many different ways. How long were you a bartender there?
So I was a bartender there for 5 years.
Okay. Did you know anything about it? You just walked in and be like, yo, I'm Irish, so it makes sense.
There's a very funny story behind that as well.
Go ahead. We're here. Give it to
another bar, Thumpers. Used to be Arenas of the Four Horsemen.
Okay.
Yeah, so then this guy, Sean McGranahan, a good friend of mine, bought it. His nickname's Thumper.
Another Jewish guy bought the Irish
Jewish
bar.
guy, yeah. So I called it Thumpers, and they were interviewing for bartenders because it just opened up. So I used to go to Murphy's, but I didn't have a bartending job at Murphy's at this point in time. So I'm good friends with the owner's son at that point in time. And I was like, hey, man, I'm going to interview for a bartending job. Do you care if I say that I used to bartend here? He's like, nah, man, go ahead. All good. I'm like, cool. So I go in, I interview. He's like, well, I was like, yeah, I'm like a fill-in bartender. He's like, yeah. So I was like, I'm having my birthday party. It was my 25th. It was like, and it's in like 2 or 3 weeks. I want to have it here. They're like, oh, okay, great. So I've had like 150 people come for my birthday. So like, all right, man, this dude's definitely going to get a job. He can bring people in. So then like the first day that I bartend is a Sunday, and they're like, all right, man, it's all you. We're going to go for a couple hours. So I was like, all right. So I'm going to Bloody Mary. I was like, how the fuck do you make a Bloody Mary? So they walk in like 2 hours later, the bar's packed, and someone orders a drink, and I'm like, I've never bought a drink before. Like, yeah, this is kind of weird.
So wait, you actually faked it till you made it.
I faked it till I made it.
Bartending.
I did.
Wow. and so how did it go? Like, so how many drinks did you fuck up? Right? How many people got pissed off? Because
everybody left very happy. There was nobody that ever left angry.
But you killed them with the laughter. How many drinks did you give away for free that day?
Not a lot. Whatever I was allowed to.
Yeah. Now, were they very specific, like in terms of the amount of pour you can do and like measure and all that crap, or no?
Yeah, there are specifics that you're supposed to follow with that, which I would learn later in my bartending career. This is like, fast forward like 2 weeks later, and I'm going into Murphy's, and it's like 1:50 in the morning, closer to. So I go in the side door, and I open the door. The guy Thump, who owns the bar, sitting on the corner next to Murphy, my buddy Mike, right there. And then I'm like, yo, what's up, guys? And Thump goes, guess what Mike just told me? I was like, what? He's like, you never bartended before? I was like, shots? And I worked for Thumpers for years, for Murphy's for years after that, and they're both really good friends of mine now.
Yeah, but so let's talk. I don't want to leave this. I don't want to leave this topic, and here's why. Okay, believe it or not, I think there's so much there. Right? Forget the craziness, the drunk fights, all that other crap. The what you learned and the people you met. I'm going to ask you an honest question. Let's think about this. Out of all the homes you sold so far, right? How much of it's come from that bar experience?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm serious.
It's the number one. It's the number one.
It's crazy.
The number one source of business for me.
Like, I honestly think before you become a realtor, you should just become a bartender.
I totally agree. Yeah, I mean, I've been bartending there in 10 years, and I still get a ton of business from it.
Crazy, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Are those places still open?
Well, Thumpers ended up having a fire, and they so it has a new ownership now. But Murphy's been there forever. It's a staple. It's a very well-known bar. They literally won best cheeseburger in Philly multiple times.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. And I gotta go there.
Yeah, their food's awesome.
Well, in that case, I hope that McCann and Onesti are watching, because he just posted some sort of video about going to the top 20 sandwich joints. Did you see that?
I did see it on Instagram.
Yeah, but see, here's the problem I have with it, Matt. He's going to take the winner and put it up against that $120 cheesesteak from Barclay Prime. And honestly, man, it sucks.
Yeah, I had it before, and it's
not that good.
It's just too rich. It's like it was too rich.
Yeah, it was $120. Like the $12.
Yeah.
Like it's Wagyu beef and some fancy food cheese. I'm sorry, it doesn't do it for me. So, Onesti, if you're watching, I disagree with putting it up against the Barclay cheesesteak. You're better off doing roast pork, in my opinion. But that's up to you. All right, so you leave Thumpers, 5 years. Why did you meet your? So hold on. You know what? Let me think about that. Let me place this. When did you get married? Because this is all going to make more sense. How old were you when you got married? So you were 25 when you started at Thumpers, right? Mm-hmm. You were there for 5 years. So we're going to
Murphy's for 5 years. Thumpers, I was there until it burned down.
So okay,
2 or 3 years maybe.
Okay, so collectively that's 8 years, right?
Well, it was 5 years of a bartending experience. So I was bartending at both places at once.
Excuse me. You were running between. Okay.
They're like 2 blocks away from each other. St. Patrick's Day, I bartended at Thumpers in the morning and then right into Murphy's at night. It was the longest day ever.
Oh my God. You were in the, so what, do you remember like one of your, like on a busy night, what would you walk away with from those places?
I would say the average was $200, and then sometimes on a really good night you get like $500.
That's solid, man.
Oh yeah.
$500? That's solid, dude. That's some serious cash right there. Yeah. Now, were you allowed to drink while you were working?
Back then, I wouldn't say in the rule book you were allowed to drink, but it wasn't
in the rule book that you read for sure.
At midnight, at Murphy's at midnight, everyone that worked there, so the cook and the bartenders, stop what you're doing, and then we would line up 3 car bombs, 4 car bombs. There was working, and then whoever lost had to do the dishes for the night.
Oh my God. That I gotta tell you, man, that right there, that's what everyone should do in their young 20s. I really believe that. I feel like it's like a rite of passage, but not only is it a rite of passage, like for anyone, right? For an Irish Catholic boy named Matt Donnelly, who went to Cardinal Doherty, it's manifest destiny to be working in Irish pubs.
I mean, I was very, very happy with the decision.
Like that's like your bar mitzvah, Matt.
And yes, it was like
that is your bar mitzvah right there. I got to tell you, I'm Jewish, so that's your bar mitzvah. So Mazel Tov.
Mazel.
So did you meet your wife while you were in the bar scene?
Met my wife in 2006 in a beach house in Sea Isle where it was like a bunch of different friend groups.
Also a non-Irish place. That makes sense. Okay.
Yes. And then in 2007, me and Sean Patrick McGovern, a fine Irishman, bought a house together in Manioc.
Wow.
We got his mother to co-sign on the mortgage since we could not get approved for a mortgage on our own.
Nice.
And we got a 5-bedroom place. So we lived in 2 bedrooms and we rented out 3 bedrooms, which covered the mortgage.
All right.
Known as house hacking now.
Nice.
Didn't have a term for it back then. And
that's big in Manioc.
Yeah, that was big. Yeah. And then my future wife at that point in time was a friend. She wanted to move in. She needed a place to stay. So she ended up renting out one of the rooms. And shortly thereafter, we became boyfriend and girlfriend.
And we'll leave it at that because she's your wife.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that. then fast forward to this. So I didn't meet her 2006. The year we're getting married, when I used to live in Frankfurt, so I went to kindergarten twice.
Yeah.
Passing by the first kindergarten I went to, it's me, her, and my brother in the car. And it was Sullivan off of Harbison Avenue. And Sean's like, oh, remember you went to kindergarten there? And I was like, yeah. Kristen's like, I went to kindergarten there too. I was like, get the hell out of here. And she graduated everything a year before me. So I was like, we would have went in the same year. Like, and there was an AM class and a PM class. So I called the school to see if they have like any records or nothing. They didn't have nothing. And like a week before our wedding, the last box in my parents' basement, find the kindergarten picture, and we're 3 people away from each other in the class photo.
What?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I know.
Do you guys have that in your house? You should have that like framed.
It's right on in my garage. There's a bar. It's called JB Irish Saloonery, and
really
it's on the bar.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
That's awesome, though. How many kids do you guys have?
So we have 2, Mickey Donnelly and Riley Donnelly.
I'm sorry. It's just, is there a St. Patrick's Day flag? That's funny. That's awesome. Oh, that's great. Oh my God. Well,
I love my Irish heritage, baby.
Yeah. What, dude? Have you been there?
Me and my brother went over in 2006. My grandfather was one of 18.
One of 18.
So he came over. Half his brothers and sisters weren't even born yet. So, and he passed away when I was like 6. So me and my brother got to go and stay with his brother that he never even met in person. And they took us, to the graveyard, the church they were baptized at, the house he was born in. It was awesome.
What part of Ireland?
Northern Ireland in County Tyrone.
Oh, you're north. So that's a big thing in and of itself, the north and the south and the.
Yeah, so the English.
Yeah, my sister-in-law studied in Cork. She did the 6 months, and we went and visited her. And then we did we did actually most of the country, because for people that don't know, it's a small country, so you can do day trips.
The whole thing, yeah.
Yeah, and we did the Jameson tasting in Middleton. Middleton? Yeah, but it was awesome. I really enjoyed it. And it's true, Guinness tastes very different. I mean, in a good way.
Totally agree.
But I will say my favorite part was where would the Spanish Armada come in? Right off the water. Oh God, I can't think of it. Like my head's drawing a blank. But like the fish was so good, we loved it. I can't think of that part of Ireland. But anyway, must do trip. It was awesome. Really, really enjoyed it. Are you going to take your kids back? Is that?
Yeah. The goal is if COVID didn't happen, definitely would have gone like in the past 2 years, because now they have a direct flight from Philly that goes to Ireland.
Oh yeah, it's at Dublin, right?
Yeah, to Dublin. Yeah, me and my brother are actually in the process of getting our dual citizenship to Ireland.
Oh, how cool is that?
Yeah.
You guys have any of those fancy looking skirts and do a little of the curling? Or you into any of that stuff?
For my wedding, that's what we came out in.
Is that what you did? All right. That's a true man right there.
Yeah,
right. All right. So we are ready to talk about real estate. Right. I think I've gotten the majority of things out of you. Most of it can be summed up in about 2 or 3 words, but but all joking aside, I'm being honest. Like, your personality is so vibrant, and to me, it's so telling of your success. It really is. And getting to know you and understanding where you come from really paints the picture for me. And that's the purpose of the show, Matt. Like we work and talk to people all over both sides of the bridge that are doing real estate well. Mm-hmm. And we always look for things in their backstories that kind of paints the reason why, right? Mm-hmm. And gives that whole explanation. Because at the end of the day, no matter how many books you read or classes you take, there are certain things that you've developed prior to real estate that makes you successful in real estate. So thank you for that. That was a fun journey, man. I enjoyed it.
No doubt.
Yeah. All right, so let's get to it. You started ripping and slinging homes. Give us the whole thing. How'd you get into it? Did you meet a guy at Murphy's or Thumpers or both? Or give us the whole thing.
So a buddy that I graduated with got his real estate license. And, his first sale, his uncle bought something that was like $1 million, and he got a 3% commission.
Nice.
He made $30,000.
Nice.
So he's like, yo, Don, he's like, you got to get your real estate license. You're so good at this.
Which I'm gonna wait. Can I stop you right there? I gotta tell you something really funny.
Yeah.
Is that how you got into it? Is that how you get into it?
Yeah.
So my buddy, good friend that I grew up with in high school, who's luckily not watching this show, so it's good. I used to go over his house. He lived in the city, single guy, still single, and he'd be literally hanging out on the couch, taking his hits, watching TV, right? And he made decent money. And I'd always look at him like, what do you do, man? Like, what do you do? He's like, I'm a mortgage broker. I'm like, wait. I'm just curious. Do you ever leave the house? He's like, yeah, I get something to eat. I walk my dog. I'm like, so you make that kind of money, sit there? I'm like, I'm overthinking stuff. Like, so believe it or not, it did spark my interest. And I won't give him the full credit, but part of the reason I went there.
Well, most people overthink everything and they get paralysis by analysis. That's why they never end up doing anything.
True. All right. So Don, slang the $1 million house. Let's go. All right. So
yeah, my buddy did. He's like, you should get a real estate license. You'd be so good at it. He said a couple of times. So in the off season, when I was, landscaping was shut down, I was bartending. I got my real estate license, started doing it in 2006. And then at the end of 2009, I was like, I'm going to go full-time into real estate because I wasn't getting real estate clients from my landscaping clients, from the bartending people at that time, because they either saw me as a landscaper or they saw me as a bartender.
Sure.
It's tough when someone's, using you to buy a house or sell a house. They want to make sure that that's what you do for the most part.
And is that then were you predominantly where'd you start? What brokerage?
I started with Century 21 Alliance in Lafayette Hill.
Okay.
I was there for 2 years, and I went to Coldwell Banker Preferred in 2008.
Did you wear a name tag, bro?
Did I wear a name tag? There's a certain point in time where I wore a name tag to some places.
I can't see you wear a name tag.
I didn't enjoy it. Yeah.
I can't see you wearing a name. I don't know. It's Century 21. Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah. Century 21.
Yeah.
It was great. I got to experience a couple different brokerages and my career.
So I always tell, what did you get? What'd you get out of each? Why'd you leave? Give us that whole thing. When you started, what'd you start out doing? You call your whole family? Like, what'd you do? How'd you get into it?
So when I started off, I was still doing bartending and landscaping as well. So time was a little limited. My first sale I ever did was at that point in time was my roommate who owned the East Falls house, and he owned a bunch of properties in East Falls, Roger Ross. Love you,
Nice.
Roger. Yeah.
Nice.
So he was my first client. So a house came up for sale on Rector and Manayunk Street. It's angled like this, but it had a two-car detached garage, which he has cars and everything. So he bought it for the 2-car detached garage.
That's premium there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at that point in time, it was just letting people know. It was more so word by mouth. I wasn't making calls or anything until I went full-time with it. And when I went full-time, which was 2010, so the end of 2009, at that point in time, Mike Soroka, who's my partner now, he was 50-50 partner with Jeremy Bowers. They had a team together, and then they hired me as their first buyer's agent.
Oh,
so I was like, yeah, I'm quitting all this stuff. I'm gonna go.
So you were employee one?
Well, they had.
I guess buyer's agent. So I guess maybe they had
back office. Yeah.
Okay.
And Marisa, she's awesome.
So all right, so that was, and they were with who at that point? What broker?
Coldwell Banker. So I went to Coldwell Banker 2008, and they got recruited like a couple months after me. So. I got to meet them at.
So who taught you the game? Like, who got your chops wet? How did you really learn?
That year that went full time with.
Yeah.
And then I was fully committed, and me, Mike, and Jeremy kept ourselves accountable. We had a schedule. We prospected. We had goals. We reviewed the goals. What are we doing right? What are we doing wrong? Let's go. It was a bad market too, so it was a much tougher market.
Yeah.
So I cut my teeth on, a bad market, which, I wouldn't change it for anything in the world because I know I can survive in any market.
So the system, having an actual system, having a strategy, having a support, right? These guys being there, the accountability, that's what really made the difference for you.
Yeah, I think for the number one thing, if you have to rank them all, it's going to be the accountability.
Yeah. Okay.
It's, when you have a normal 9-to-5 job, your accountability is if you don't go there, you're not, your paycheck and you get fired.
Right.
So having accountability where, you don't get paid unless you go to settlements. It's strictly 100% commission. So it's easy to, I'm going to stay at home and, watch Sports Center until 11 o'clock in the morning, and do all these different things. So having that accountability, and we were all just kind of driven people, that was the main thing. So that year, I spent with them, like really like set me right to be like, all right, this is what needs to be done in order to, to be successful. So I had a pretty good year that first year. And then I left them to do my own thing. Same thing. It was like that inner entrepreneurship type thing. So we left obviously on really good terms.
Did you stay at Caldwell and went
into
into
banker? Yep, they were still a Cold Banker. So I started my own thing. Eventually, one of my friends who her name's Kelly Smaltz, awesome person as well. She actually got me at Century 21 Alliance. That's where she was working. She came over. She started working with me. She was doing some admin stuff part-time, and she's still doing sales. And then I brought on another guy, Pat Rust, and, dedicated my time and energy to making sure he was successful, and he did really good. At that point in time, Jeremy ended up becoming the manager of Coldwell Banker. So then Mike was just running the team. Jeremy was a manager in Coldwell Banker. And then, me and Mike were always the first and last cars you see in the parking lot every day. And then, one day Mike walked in the office. He's like, yo, dude, he's like, let's combine teams. Let's do this thing together. We're two hardworking guys. We know we get along together really well. And Mike's team at that point in time was actually doing way more than my team was, because they were a couple of years ahead of me, So I was like, I knew me and Mike got along together really well from the time that we worked together. So I was excited about the opportunity.
What does Mike bring? So we know your dynamic. I know, I can tell knowing you in a very short time. What does Mike, tell us about Mike? Give us his backstory. What is the dynamic in the relationship?
Yeah. So Mike's born and bred Conshohocken guy. He's a super just work ethic, hard worker, meticulous. I'm more fast, boom, boom, go. He's slower, analytical, takes his time to process things. And, where most people just say when a lead comes in, they'll call 1 or 2 times, his follow-up would be 15 times. And then he would end up getting that for sale by owner or whatever else it was. The dynamic, what makes it work so well between the two of us is that trust factor. You don't know that until you go through the fire on some things. And, being together now since 2014, we've been through a lot of different fires and different scenarios, and we know that we got each other's back, and we will, again, he's going to bring in different strengths than I bring, which you kind of need that, just like a marriage, almost.
Yeah, you're yin and the yang. I got it. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So at that point, when you're growing and you're really starting to get your mojo in this, what's your motivation? Like, what's driving you? Is it succeeding in the career? Is it money? Is it number of homes? Like, where were you at mentally then?
Then it's certainly money. Money is a motivator, right? You need money to live a good life and do all the different things that you want to do.
Yep.
And then I think as you get older, obviously the money's gonna be really important. But you really start transitioning to making sure you're having that, you're enjoying the life, right? It's not enjoyable, which again, I wouldn't change anything how I did it. I was working 7 days a week, morning to night, and that's how I ended up building my business. And I felt like that's probably the way I needed to build my business. But if I was still doing that today, then I'm not really living that enjoyable of a life.
And it's interesting though, because the mentorship aspect, right, I think is what makes or breaks people. I really do believe that. The brokerage is nice. I'm not telling you it's not. I know what everyone's mindset is on one place to another. But if you have the right people willing to show you the right way, or show you a way, right? Even a way. Because I'll be honest, I've been through 4 different mortgage companies, and when I started, it was like, hey man, go sell a loan. What the hell? Like,
I don't do that. Figure it out.
Yeah, I have no idea what the hell that even means. Like, so it's the mentorship, really, like the people that you mentioned, right? And that whole thing changing your direction. And then now you saying how you're committed to helping those people, because the next discussion is going to be about home experts for you and what you guys are doing and all that good stuff. But that is, to me, especially in real estate, sales in general, but especially in real estate, especially in what we do and I do, if you don't have the right person give you some sort of direction, it's like a maze.
It's tough. And, real estate in general is a very tough business. And, as many teams that there are, every single team does it a different way. Right? Which is a good part about being an entrepreneur. Like you're running your independent contractor, whether you're a single agent and you're on a team, like everyone, you're running your own business, whether you're running your own business within another business. that's how it is. So we try to create a business and a vision that's big enough that all the people that are in our world can fit their visions inside of our vision. So
Yeah.
we got to keep on making ours bigger to fit all these good, talented people within our vision.
But the thing is, though, Matt, you actually believe that, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's the thing. That's the thing I always try and get to people. If you don't believe it, like if you don't connect with it, it's not you're not gonna see the results. Like if it's not something that's actually ingrained, and you don't just, it's one thing to read about it, like, oh, this is what this guy did, right? Or this is what this guy did. You legitimately believe it, and you get out and you do it, and that's where the success comes. It doesn't matter who you work with, like. Doesn't matter what brokerage you're with. And that to me is an innate thing, man. Like that's something that I think it's your belief in yourself. That goes back to the landscaping thing, like you didn't even second guess yourself. You're like, screw this, I'm going out on my own, and that's important. That's an important trait. And it's something you can't teach people, man.
And I would say, there was certainly second guessing when you're making a decision like that, but went through it. And when I went full time with the real estate, I literally went back to that point in time. Freshman year in college, when I bought the landscaping, I was scared about taking out that loan for a couple grand. I was like, it worked out.
Yeah.
Let me do it.
And are you big in the mentoring of agents now and your team and the home experts for your sphere? I guess the better question is, this is the question I always ask a successful agent. Can you take someone who's completely green and turn them into a successful agent?
Yes, if it's a person that has it within them to do it, so if it's someone that doesn't have the willpower or the drive, then no, you're not going to be able to. And I try not to focus my time and energy or bring people like that onto our team.
Yeah. What do you look for? Like because I bet you get a lot of inquiries. I'm going to guess because you guys are so big now and so well known. There's got to be people always saying, I want to come on board. So what's your vetting process like? What are you looking for?
So we want someone that's going to do it full time.
Yeah.
That's going to be fully committed to it. They're going to do it full time. Somebody that, is willing to learn, willing to kind of show up. We have this office that we create with our own culture and atmosphere. So we have this place you can come and be supportive. So we want people to come and show up and be here for it. Typically you can tell when you're talking with somebody, you get a good idea of kind of the fit, do our personalities fit with each other? Are they going to be the right fit for what we're looking for in our team? We don't want negativity, drama. That's one of the reasons why we always had our own office space to operate our team out of. Because when you work for a brokerage, a lot of times you're subject to all the different agents that are there. And there's, especially in the past, there was so many just negative agents because the market wasn't good. And, you're trying to be successful and do well. And you go to get a cup of water and they're telling you how shitty everything is, Yeah. And I would say it certainly changed, in the market center with Mike McCann took over that I'm part of now is a great atmosphere and culture. So
I can't imagine the two of you in a room. Holy, you don't even need coffee.
That's right. Me and Mike, we have some good conversations. He's awesome, man.
You don't even need, you guys have so much energy. It's unbelievable. Oh my God. So, all right. I want to talk about a couple other good stuff. Conshohocken, right? Tell us this. We have not talked about this area. So if you're not from Philadelphia, what's the layout? What's the market like? What are you seeing there in terms of a change and an evolution?
Yeah. So Conshohocken's not that big. I mean, technically Conshohocken Borough is only 1 square mile. Conshohocken mailing address.
1 square mile. That's it
for the Conshohocken Borough. But Conshohocken mailing address goes between White Marsh, Plymouth, like these other. Yeah,
towns. But that's crazy. That's small.
It is small.
Wow.
Yeah. But the location of Conshohocken is such a great location because you're literally, 10, 15 minutes till you get to like Roxborough, Manayunk. You go on 76 and there's no traffic. You can get to Center City in 20 minutes.
Right. Which never happens.
Which never happens. During COVID, though, I was getting there like 17 minutes.
COVID, and then when the Schuylkill flooded, man, it was awesome.
You're there in 20 minutes.
But no, I mean, it's definitely unique, right?
It's definitely unique. So again, it reminds me of Longcrest where I grew up because there's so many families, so many people that have young kids where there's like every sport has, if you don't sign up in time, you're going to miss out. My kids go to school at Plymouth Elementary. There's like 10 classes in each grade.
Wow.
Which is nuts.
Wow.
So there's a ton to do. The location's great. King of Prussia's 10 minutes away. The city's only 15, 20 minutes away.
Yeah.
A lot of small business owners that really care about the community. So there's always community events going on. You got some bigger businesses that are moving in here now too. So the demand for real estate has continued to appreciate.
Mm.
Even
Have
back,
you guys seen a big bump in the
Yeah.
average value there? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What's an average home go for there? Like, give us an idea.
So if you just take the total average of all the houses,
Yeah.
which is going to be a big conglomeration because there's so many like rows on the same block, you're going to have rows, twins, and singles.
Well, give me one of each. Give me
Yeah.
the row, give me the twin, and give me the single. I don't want to screw you up as a realtor right now.
All good. All good. So I'll say if you had to average it all out, it's probably around 385.
Okay.
Average for like a row, you'll be around 325.
Yeah.
Average for a twin is that 4 range, depending upon what it looks like. Single houses, depending upon, there's little sub neighborhoods that, you know, their price is going to be skewed a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, that new construction stuff is now selling in that 7 to 8 range.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. So is there a lot of new construction there?
There's a decent amount. Again, there's not a ton of land out here, so it depends on your definition of a lot.
Right. Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
I have a bunch of friends that live there and held the properties.
Yeah.
And use them as rentals. So
yes, that's one of that's one of the things that me and Mike do. We buy real estate, we renovate it, and then we hold on to it. We don't flip it.
So talk about that side of your business. I want to know about that.
Yeah.
Is that the property management stuff?
So property management, we obviously property manage our own stuff, but we also property manage. We have a company that property manages for landlords, you know.
Cool.
So we have, single family, multifamily, and commercial space that we property manage, mainly in the Colonial School District area, which is Conshohocken falls in. We don't really go into the city. So it's 170 doors that we have.
Okay.
Which,
wow, you guys have 100. Wow, that's a lot.
It's not that lot when you look at like these bigger property management companies, which we don't want to be that.
Well, forget that. I'm just saying in general. That's
yeah. So, and then the goal is with the property management, because you don't really make money on the property management unless you have like these, you have a ton of them. But we want to build relationships with those tenants, and we want them to use us when they decide to buy a house. If the owner wants to sell a house, we want them to use us to sell the house. So everything that we do is kind of real estate related.
So your lead generate your cost to actually acquire business, right? And leads and marketing goes way down, because even if you break even in that, right? Even if you're
the property management company, they just say that break even, but we get 3 sales.
You get to have a business, right?
Exactly. That's where we're going to
brilliant. Money. Yeah,
and we get opportunities ourselves to buy stuff that we can put in our own portfolio. Which is,
and do you guys help people invest? Do you guys help people invest? Do you do that stuff?
Oh yeah, we definitely help people invest. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Interesting. That's cool, man. That's really. And then, do you convert, or are there a lot of agents you're finding that aside from straight retail, we call it, which is just the buying and selling of the primary stuff, are you teaching them how to become investor agents? Do you do that?
Yeah. So one of the big things that we push on our real estate team is to buy real estate. Anytime you buy a property, we let you keep 100% of the commission. So we want people to build their wealth. Most of the people on our team, they've been with us for years and years. Like we're very involved and committed, and it's like a family type atmosphere. So
you guys are an extraordinary team. I mean, I got to be honest. Like that's not common. I mean, you've figured it out on multiple levels. You have the nurturing of the agents. You're teaching them about investment. I mean, it's unique. You're a team that runs a business. Right. Yeah. And that's what people don't realize.
It's a business, and most people don't realize that.
They really, it's a misnomer. It really is.
And I'd say we fucked up so many different times along the way. That's just natural part of it.
That's how you learn.
Learn it.
Yeah.
Some point in times we're doing the bookkeeping and everything else, which we don't know how to fucking do bookkeeping, right?
Yeah.
So eventually you learn, and then you become more of a business owner, and then you look at like we got legit businesses here that we're running, and we have bookkeeper, CFO, all these other things. And everything is about, we look at it as a long haul. There's no short-term home runs. Everything we do is for the long term. And I think when you have that in mind, you're gonna time goes by pretty quick. So all of a sudden 5 years went by. Oh shit, I got a couple properties and they appreciated. Man, I can take I can do a cash out. The interest rates went down. I can do a cash out refi, take out that cash and buy more real estate.
Yeah. I mean, it's amazing to hear that. Like, I mean, your personality is just made for this, man. It's just you were. To me, it's like the saloon and the bar lined up with the real estate like perfectly. But no, in all seriousness, it's awesome, and it's your team is very interesting to me because there aren't many like you. That's the whole point I'm trying to make. you guys are a very rare breed because of how you do it. Having the separate office, having your own systems, having your own training, the education and the nurturing of the agents. That's not hard. That's not easy to find, dude.
No,
It's not easy to find at all.
It's not.
Like,
Yeah,
I mean, if I were an agent looking for a home, like out of the gate, I would be like banging at your door because
we're hiring. We're looking at.
No, but I'm serious. Like, think about it. Like, you really teach people how to make a living in this business, and not many people can do that. They really, really can. All right, there is one other thing I want to talk about, and then we'll wrap. Cool. KW, why KW? What is it about KW that took this thing you and Mike had and made it better? What's there for you? Tell us.
Yeah, so definitely because KW have all the different brokerages is the most entrepreneurship. Okay, so they teach entrepreneurship. They have the most training. Like, they've won multiple years best training company with the best training, not just in real estate, but on all these different companies.
Sure.
So, the more of an entrepreneur that you are, the more that you don't want to be kind of shackled and handcuffed. You want to be able to grow a business, and the less interference that you're going to get, like Keller Williams, the company for that, which, me and Mike are natural entrepreneurs. So it's, the most attractive for us.
And that makes sense. I mean, I'm an outsider. I've never worked for KW, so I don't know, but I've always heard, being an outsider, they create a lot of different revenue streams for you guys. As well as the different teachings and the culture and look, to me in the past 5 years, it's been the hot place to go. So I was just curious why you guys jumped in. And the thing I know about you is you're not going to bullshit me, Matt. You're not going to bullshit me.
I'll give you my opinion, and it may or may not be accurate, but it's my opinion. God damn it.
And we will put that disclaimer in. Matt is by all means speaking on behalf of Matt. That is it. Well, honestly, man, I had a blast. I hope you did too. Just so everyone knows, when you watch this, we get more viewers on the replay, Matt, just so you know. Like, it's just people watch it when they have time, at night, going to sleep, whatever.
I'm gonna live anyway, baby.
But at the end of the day, Matt, and this is how I'm going to end it. My favorite thing Matt said was something none of you heard, which is he did no preparation for this show. And I'm going to tell you the truth. That's how I want it. Okay. So we always say, is there any words of wisdom you want to leave? And if not, that's fine. You can mic drop and we can bounce. Totally up to you.
Yeah, man, absolutely. If anyone's thinking about selling their house, I want you to give me a call because we're going to do a better job than anyone else out there. 215-284-5725. That's my cell phone. Our website's www.homeexpertsforyou.com. Thank you, Chad.
I'll tell you what. I'm going to sum it up by saying one word, okay? Matt Donnelly is a fucking superstar because of one thing, his character. The guy is cool as shit, okay? So I will buy and sell with you, my friend. Yes. I absolutely will, 100%. Thanks, everyone out there, thank you. We had a friggin' blast. Matt, you are awesome. We are going to have some beers together soon, buddy. And have a happy holiday. We will not be live next week. We do have something special, but we will not be live. Have a happy Thanksgiving. We will see you all in December. And Matt, cheers, brother.
Cheers, man. I only have this microphone.
Everyone, take it easy. Peace.
Peace.